bags and purses as close to themselves as they possibly can because they think as a black man he's going to rob them. We're not going to rob you. We don't need anything you have. These people don't like blacks. They don't like them at all. And there is more than one reason as to why that they are in Africa, okay? They are in Africa not just for your gold, not just for your minerals, not just for these things, okay? By the year 2050, the population of China is going to be so much so that there is not going to be enough room left in China for them. They want your country and they don't want you in it, okay? We are talking about people who hold their nose when you walk past and now they're sending a vaccine. What vaccine? They haven't created a vaccine. No country has created a vaccine yet. There is none. We wake up here every day and we check the news because we want a vaccine. The countries are in a battle around the world to see who will create the first vaccine. There is no vaccine. So whatever the hell they have sent to Africa, I believe Senegal, if I'm correct, whatever they have sent there is not a vaccine for coronavirus. Okay? What vaccine has ever been sent to Africa that did Africa any good? Zero. I'm telling you, none. We gave you HIV. For those who don't believe that, there is a movie. Go and find it. There's a documentary, okay? The guy in the documentary, his own family also worked for the people that created this HIV virus in a lab and sent it to a vaccination center where you people were lined up like cattle at a way station to be infected with this. I'm telling you, this thing that has arrived in Africa has already killed 7 children, okay? It is not a vaccine for coronavirus. Ebola came out of Africa. Not one single white man died of Ebola. Any white man that got infected with Ebola was flown out of Africa into a white man's hospital and cured. Did we send any cure to Africa? If there was a vaccine for coronavirus, we'd have it. We'd be saving us. There are thousands of people dying in Italy, America, China, despite the fact that they would have you believe that they've fixed it because they haven't. It's a load of crap. If there was a vaccine that could save lives against this coronavirus, COVID-19, we'd have it here. It wouldn't be getting sent to Africa, okay? The reason those French doctors, for lack of a better word, or because I don't want to swear, those French morons who sat there and said, let's go and test this thing in Africa. There is a reason that they made those comments. They don't have a vaccine to test, okay? And if they were coming to test it, they wouldn't tell you they were coming to test it. The reason those French clowns made those statements is because France is pissed off that Africa woke up to the continuation of the colonization pact and started pulling their money out of France. That is destroying France. So that is why those comments were made. If they wanted to test the vaccine on you guys, they'd have done it without telling you that's what they were doing. Okay? Now, not even a week after those idiots sat there, Africa has accepted a vaccine. What is wrong with the leaders there? You have got to be crazy. In one breath, 2 clowns are saying, we want to go and test this thing on Africans. And a week later, you're accepting something called a vaccine for coronavirus, whilst no country has got a vaccine for this virus yet. It takes months. Our scientists here in Australia, in a lab, discovered something that quite could possibly maybe do something. And let me tell you, that starts in a lab. Then they have to test it against the virus in a lab. If that's successful, then they have to test it against animals. And we start with mice and we get bigger and bigger pigs, etc., before we move to testing it on humans. Okay? There is no vaccine yet. It doesn't exist. So whatever they are injecting there is to kill you. Period. There is no vaccine. No country has discovered a vaccine yet. And if we had, we wouldn't be sending it there. Okay, we wouldn't be sending it there. First, they wanted you guys to believe, okay, that it didn't affect Africans. It didn't affect anybody with black skin. We exposed that. A week later, you're seeing it all over the news. It affects Africans more. More African Americans are dying of this disease than white people. They have messed with the heads of the Africans to the extent that you don't know which, left or right. We have sent HIV. We have set up fake vaccinations, fake tetanus that made your women barren, fake polio, fake. How many Africans have been killed by vaccines sent from the Western world? We haven't sent a single vaccination, and nobody here dies of malaria. Do they die in Africa of malaria? You bet your ass they do. Ebola has just been discovered again in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. So now we're going to have another outbreak of Ebola whilst coronavirus is going, and the white man is sending a fake vaccine because, as I said, no country has developed a vaccine for coronavirus yet. It doesn't exist. So they did not send one to you. They have sent poison. Okay? Poison. They have what they have done is it's a systematic, right? They want to wipe you guys out because they want Africa for what? China's already there. They don't just want all the gold and all that stuff. They're there throwing money at your leaders, billions and billions of dollars. Okay? They're giving out loans, which on the surface look fantastic. Long-term loans, small interest to build infrastructures and buildings and things like that are supposed to get a return so that they can repay those loans. Those things that they have given your country money for will never generate enough money for those things to be paid back, so you will forever be indebted to China. You will be forever indebted to China. And they'll just move on in. And they'll take over, because if coronavirus doesn't kill you, this fake vaccine will. If that doesn't, well, Ebola's coming again too. So take your pick on which way you want to die at this point, caused by the white world. The fake vaccines, you've got people protesting and against taking this vaccine. You've got other people pinning all their hopes on the white man that they're going to bring this vaccine. It's a no-win situation. It's a no-win situation, to the extent that even if we did send you a correct vaccine, half of you wouldn't take it because you already know HIV and all those other things were sent to you by us. So half of you would be okay and the other half wouldn't, and you'd still get wiped out anyway. It makes me so... I don't understand why you would accept anything from China, including a Chinese person. This is a country that is so racist. They made a commercial for washing powder where they put a black man in the washing machine, added the powder, and he came out white. Are you friggin' kidding me? Why would you want these people in your country? We have strict quarantine rules because of this virus, okay? You've got Chinese doctors that literally walked off out of the hospital from treating a coronavirus victim, got on a plane, landed in Nigeria, and now they're interacting with your people. Anybody that they walked past in that airport can potentially contract that virus now. Anybody on that airplane, the air hostess, the pilot, because it's airborne, it'll get into the air filtration system, are all now at risk. They stepped off a plane and they weren't quarantined. So they are potentially spreading this to everybody that they come into contact with. The people who came from the country where this originated from have sent fake vaccine. They've landed in your continent and not quarantined themselves. They would have the world believe that they've solved it in their province. They're lying. We know for a fact that thousands more people died in China before they alerted the World Health Authority that this virus existed. They are the reason that tens of thousands of people are now dead, and you're accepting them into your continent. You think they're coming to help you? They're not coming to help you. They're just not. It's not going to happen. This thing it's just creating a whole new wave of racism. In America, okay, they don't even have enough room in the cemeteries anymore. They are now taking... America's population of prisoners, black prisoners, you're looking at 75, 80, 85% of prisoners are black. Who do you think they're using to dig holes and bury the dead? They are taking the black prisoners from the prison and they are using them to bury the dead people who have died of this coronavirus. Okay? They just want to wipe you guys out. China will have no room by 2050, right? So in the next 30 years, their population is set to skyrocket to the extent that they will not have any room left. And they're already there. You think they're coming and building infrastructure for you guys? They're not. They're preparing that shit for themselves. Okay? There's how many bases from different countries. I've said it and I've said it and I've said it and I've said it. World War III will start in Africa because everybody wants Africa. Most countries want it for the gold, the minerals, the medicinal herbs. Most countries want it for that. I'm telling you, China wants it because they want the country. There's no room left where they are. They already have a one-child policy and their population is set to explode by 2050. And a country that has lied about everything, including how many people, they will have you believe that this virus was only in Wuhan, it didn't get to Shanghai and it didn't get to surround. Bullshit. It jumped from China, it's all around the world, but it didn't get into Shanghai. How can you believe anything that comes out of these people's mouths? You can't. No country has a vaccine for this virus yet. So whatever they have sent there, which if reports are to